This meeting is being recorded.
సత్యవతమ్మ వందే మాత్రం. మ్యూట్ లో ఉన్నారా? ఏం వినిపించట్లేదు. సత్యవతమ్మ మీది వాయిస్ వినపడట్లేదండి. సత్యవతమ్మ మీ వాయిస్ వినపడట్లేదు. గౌతమ్ ముఖర్జీ భయ్య వందే మాత్రం.
సత్యవతి గారు మా మాట మీకు వినిపిస్తుందా?
వందే మాతరం సుజలా సుఫలా మలయజ శీతలా శ్యామలా మాతరం వందే మాతరం శుభ్రజ్యోత్స్నా పులకితయామినీ ఉల్లకుసుమితమదలశోభినీ సుహాసినీ సుమధురభాషిణీ సుఖదాం వరదాం మాతరం వందే మాతరం వందే మాతరం.
గౌతమ్ జీ ధన్యవాదాः. సత్యవతి గారు ప్రార్థనా గీతం చెప్పండి.
నమస్కారం మహోదయ.
ప్రార్థనా గీతం చెప్పండి.
గణానాం త్వా గణపతిగుం హవామహే కవిం కవీనాముపవస్త్రవస్తమం జ్యేష్ఠరాజం బ్రహ్మణాన్ బ్రహ్మణస్పతి ఆనశృణ్వన్నోతిభిः సదా సదనం. ఓం మహాగణపతయే నమః. ప్రణో దేవీ సరస్వతి వాజేభిర్వాజినీవతి తీనామవత్యవతు. ఓం మహాసరస్వత్యై నమః. ఓం అసతో మా సద్గమయ తమసో మా జ్యోతిర్గమయ మృత్యోర్మా అమృతం గమయ. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. మాతృదేవో భవ పితృదేవో భవ ఆచార్య దేవో భవ అతిథి దేవో భవ. ఓం గురుర్బ్రహ్మా గురుర్విష్ణు గురుర్దేవో మహేశ్వరః గురు సాక్షాత్ పరబ్రహ్మ తస్మై శ్రీ గురవే నమః. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి.
ధన్యవాదాలు సత్యవతమ్మ గారికి. ధన్యవాదాలు. ప్రభాకర్ మహోదయ మీరేమన్నా will you start the session? Afterwards I will introduce the speaker.
Yeah, today's speaker Dr. Murthy garu, I invite him. Thank you. Namaskaram sir. Dr. Murthy garu is introduction anybody is doing or I should do it?
I'll be doing it.
Okay, very good. So adya చతుర్నవతి తమి వేద సంస్కృత సమితి వేదికాయాం సర్వేభ్యः స్వాగతం కరోమి స్వాగతం వ్యాహరామి. అద్య ప్రవచనకర్త మహోదయ డాక్టర్ KVRS మూర్తి గారు ఆహ్వానం. నమస్కారం మహోదయ, ఆహ్వానం కరోమి. సర్వేభ్యः ఆహ్వానం. సర్వేభ్యः ఏతత్ అద్య కార్యక్రమం ఆరంభం కరోతు ఇది ప్రార్థనా కరోమి. అస్తు.
ధన్యవాదాः ప్రభాకర్ మహోదయ. Now I would like to introduce our speaker for the day. The topic is on challenges, Bharateeya Prachina, PracheenaVignana Sastras, applied research avenues for university scholars. Our speaker is KVRS Murthy garu, who is a retired senior scientist from CSIR, Indian Institute of Chemical Technology, Hyderabad. Presently, he is the honorary director in the research wing of Institute of Scientific Research on Vedas, ISERV, in Hyderabad. KVRS Murthy garu has graduated in science and in mechanical engineering from Andhra University, Visakhapatnam, and he has served 35 years at CSIR, IICT, Government of India, and superannuated as chief scientist in October 2006. After his superannuation, he had the interest in the study of ancient scientific knowledge and has associated with ISERV. His contributions are in research in various scientific scripts, Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, and allied similar ancient texts. Conducting national seminars, workshops, meetings in universities on the scientific subjects and collaborative research projects, training in organic farming for farmers, awareness training to students in the scientific subjects of interest, traditional knowledge sharing, and coordinating with government, public and private organizations. For the R&D assistance, Murthy sir is instrumental in getting recognition to ISERV by Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. He is a life fellow in professional and scientific organizations like Indian Science Congress, Indian Social Science Academy, Institution of Engineers, India, and he also got a fellowship in UNDP, that is United Nations Development Program. So with so much of accreditations and so much of achievements to his experience, we are really very honored and privileged to have him as our guest. We welcome you, sir, on behalf of Veda Samskruti Samiti and all those present here, all the dignitaries present here, to hear to your words. We welcome you again, sir, on behalf of VSS and all of us. Please take over the session, sir.
Thank you, Lalita Madam Ji, for introducing me.
Just want to add one more thing. Dr. Murthy garu was the supporter, full supporter, total 100% supporter to our Veda Samskruti activities last so many years, last 2016 onwards. And I welcome him. Thank you very much, sir.
థ్యాంక్ యూ ప్రభాకర్ జీ. ఈరోజు పాల్గొన్న సభ్యులందరికీ వందనములు. అలాగే నాకన్నా చిన్నవాళ్ళందరికీ కూడా ఆశీర్వచనాలు. ఐ విల్ టాక్ ఇన్ ఇంగ్లీష్ ఓన్లీ, బట్ దిస్ ఐ వుడ్ లైక్ టు గివ్ మై అభినందన టు ఆల్ ద పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ ఇన్ దిస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్. కెన్ యూ పుట్ ద ఫస్ట్ స్లైడ్, మేడం?
Yeah, I will, sir.
Today, we are discussing on a subject of Bharateeya Prachina Sastras. Yeah. Applied research avenues for university scholars. Let us examine what is the PracheenaVignana. We all know that our Bharat has historical events since thousands of years, starting from the Vedic period and the medieval period. A lot of sciences have been developed, especially from the Vedic scripts. In the present knowledge, present people, what they think is about Vedas. They think that just Vedas is just a chanting for the spiritual appraisal to the gods and chanting, and they never know that whether any Vedas has got really the sciences in it. If sciences are there. What are they? Definitely there are Veda sciences in that. With that, many Nobel laureates have come forward from the Western things, but the Westerns have utilized our Vedas and got the prizes and awards and their name. But we say now that it is all from our Vedas. So let us examine one by one. I will just brief in this short time of just iceberg in the tip in the iceberg. I will talk about these sciences, what are all the sciences during the Vedic period as well as in the medieval period, and what exactly our predecessors enjoyed all these sciences, and why not we go further and introduce. Of course, there is definitely implementation of this, but still in the future, these Vedic sciences and medieval sciences, science and administrations are to be applied. Our future generations must enjoy the benefits, and which are environmentally friendly technologies can be developed from these issues. And before that, I go for the further. Today is a very auspicious day, that is our past president Dr. Abdul Kalamji's birthday. So while we are thinking of him, and in this my lecture, there are a lot of quotes that is given by Dr. Abdul Kalamji on these Vedic sciences and our sciences. So it is really a pleasure that on this day I'm speaking this talk on Vedic sciences. Vedic literature. Vedas, being the source of creation, must embody in them principles relating to all branches of learning. The glory of ancient civilization was its excellence solely on Vedas. Next, please. Vedavyasa, the soul of Vedic literature, the great grandson of says Vasishtha, the grandson of says Shakti, son of great Parasara, father of Sukadeva, the narrator of Bhagavatam, worshipped by all across the globe, and even sannyas even today. Next, please. Next. The earth's code, the Rigveda said, Hinduism is not one of the oldest, is one of the oldest, but still more scientific and modern. This you must recognize, that Rigveda is the oldest of the sciences and still more scientific and modern. Next, please. And you all know that we have Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharvaveda. Maharshi Vedavyasa collected all these, classified all mantras available in space into these categories of 4 Chaturvedas. Next, please. You see, if you examine all these Rigvedas, the total, we have lost so many scripts from this all the Chaturvedas. If you see this table, Rigveda has got 21 sakhas, and unfortunately we have left with only 3, and we lost 18. Where these 18, we do not know, whether it is abroad, Germany or Europe, or where, we don't know. Yajurveda, out of 101 sakhas, only 4 are available, imagine. And 97 we lost. And Samaveda, about 1000 sakhas, only 3 are available, and 997 we lost. Atharvaveda, 9 sakhas, we have available only 2, and we lost 7. And Puranas, of course, intact, 18 are there and 18 is there. Similarly, post-Vedic direct scientific works, in thousands we have, and some we lost, and only in dozens it is available. This is the status, and with this present status, available status, we have got enormous strength in making this available scriptures, and we can make use of that. And classification of Vedic and post-Vedic literature. The Vedas, each Veda consists of 4 parts, that is Samhitas, the hymns, the Brahmanas, rituals, and Aranyakas, theories, and Upanishads, the philosophies. The term Upaveda, applied knowledge, is used for the traditional literature to designate the subjects of certain technical works. There are references in at least 4 Upavedas, that is Dhanurveda, that is archery, and Sapya Veda, that is architecture, and the Gandharva Veda, the music and dance phenomena, and Ayurveda, the medicinal aspects. And similarly, Darsanas, Samkhyas, the holistic explosion of consciousness and matter. You have yoga, the holistic development of body, mind, and soul. And Nyaya explores various sources of the knowledge. And Vaisheshika, Tattvajnana, including ancient knowledge of some modern sciences. The Mimamsa, the ancient mystic school, which emphasizes on performance of duties of individuals. Vedanta emphasizes on knowledge of centric understanding of the universe. There are several post-Vedic Sastras like Krishi Shastra, Vriksha Shastra, Loha Shastra, Rasa Shastra, Yantra Sarvasva, Vaimanika, Bhugarbha, Ganita Shastra, and whatnot. So many more are there. And if you see the Vedic word, the Sanskrit word means knowledge. It is derived from the root that means to know, or which to be known. And we have a beautiful memory in the world through UNESCO. UNESCO said the Vedas are generally known as the scriptures of the Sindhu community. However, being among the first literary documents in the history of humankind, they transcend far beyond their identity and scriptures. The Rig Veda, the oldest among the 4 Vedas, is the fountain source of the so-called Aryan culture and all its manifestations that spread beyond the Indian subcontinent to large parts of South and Southeast Asia, as well as part of Central Asia. The valuable treasure of the ancient world has been preserved in the form of manuscripts in India, as handed down over centuries from generation to generations, and this will go beyond. Similarly, Abdul Kalamji said Vedic and post-Vedic literature is a tremendous amount of scientific knowledge, which will be extremely beneficial to humanity. For creating a faith in these documents, there is a need to establish data of creation of Vedas and Upanishads so that they are transformed into historical events. The use of modern technology has facilitated researchers to prove an indigenous origin of civilization in the Indian subcontinent. This is an important factor which would work as an integrator to the entire nation, since all of us have come into the land from the same ancestors and roots. Next, please. Vedas has got great knowledge. No, previous. And Vedas has greater knowledge and less inventions. And Rig Veda, which makes the basic reference, here, 1 minute. Vedas granted great knowledge of scientific and less inventions. We have less inventions through that, but the knowledge is there. The appreciating the scientific knowledge of this is drawn between discovery and next, please. Next slide. Yes, please keep it like. Next. You are going to next. Next, please. Any problem? Yes, please keep it like. Keep it like. So less inventions. Discovery and figuring out. Don't expand. I can read it. Don't expand. Keep it like that. Previous. Go to the previous slide, please. Previous slide, previous. Yeah, previous. Next. left. Okay, less inventions. Let us examine the great knowledge of scientific discovery but less inventions. Discovery and frequently explain something that pre-exists while invention is creating new objects. Scientific discoveries basically include identification of laws of nature through keen observation and to certain examples, the laws of gravitation of theory of relativity, magnetism and electromagnetic waves, open pressures and transmission of energy, atmosphere, oxygen, hydrogen and carbon dioxide, movement of planets of solar system and eclipses. Sorry. Such scientific discoveries are recorded in Orient around 8000 BC itself. They will be reiterated developed by Aryabhata, Bhaskaracharya and Varahamihira in around 15 years back, 1500 years back. Many modern scientists and Western world made re-recorded these discoveries again. They expanded the scope of these discoveries and also used these for making some important inventions like telescope, electricity, steam engine and whatnot, aeroplanes, etc. Next, please. Next slide. Yes. For instance, if you analyze further, the Rig Veda make the reference of nakshatras and movements of sun, moon, and earth. That is the 10 by 189 one, that is the Sakas, and plants, yoga, agriculture, implementation, jewelry, etc. Whereas Ajurveda, the number is up to 10,000, 1,000 billion, that is 10 to the power, and later developed 10 power 24, which I will discuss again. Atharvaveda, around 3000 to 2000 BCE, early knowledge of physics, chemistry, botany, and medicine, the pre-Ayurvedic. Vedic mathematics and astronomy, Vedic astronomy, Sulabha Sutras, etc. Ayurveda, Charaka, Sushruta Samhita, around 800 BCE. And similarly, Vaisheshika, the early concepts of atom, space, time, motion, and sound. And advanced astronomy, Bhaskaracharya's advanced astronomy in around 700 BC. Siddhanta Shiromana Bhaskaracharya is an advanced astronomical and mathematical works. And Sarangadhara Amita and Rasasastra, which includes urine and pulse examination for diagnostic purpose of all chemical practices in 12th century itself. Next, please. Next slide. And Rig Veda recorded about the astronomical observations, and it contains comprehensive reference in agriculture and farming also, irrigation and plowing, menus, seeds, utensils and jewelry, grains and vegetables, etc. These items have been found in excavations and are also dated from 7000 BC to 3000. However, archaeologists, being ignorant of Vedic references, have been describing these items as Harappans. So that is how it is suppressed, the Vedic knowledge. And Valmiki Ramana refers sequentially the sky views of observed around 5100 BCE, where the planetary reference of Mahabharata could be observed sequentially in the sky around 3100. A lot of work has been done in this, and there was ISER has conducted a dating of ancient events where Abdul Kalamji has presided over that function, and I was the chief guest sometime 2009 in Delhi JNU auditorium. The astronomical dates of reference is Atharvaveda work out to be around 2200 BC. The knowledge of astronomy has got more developed at that time. Atharvaveda also contains more detailed reference in flora and fauna, and diseases, cures, medicines, and herbs, etc. Indian subcontinent relating to the period around 2200 BCE. Next, please. If you come to the astronomy, Vedanga Jyotisham, the Lagada, the author is for that. Only book written in 1500 BCE, available even today, contains all basic knowledge of astronomy and use it to fix suitable time for various sacrifices. Next. It deals with the ethical, moral, procedural purpose associated with performance of rituals as a way of life. and a lot of explanations were given. Salva Sutras, Kriya Sutras, Sauta Sutras, and Dharma Sutras. Next. Ancient astronomy and mathematics, we will discuss. The earth revolves around the like a father, like son, whereas the moon revolves around its mother, like earth. There's Rigveda, it is given in 10:189 by 1, and Yajurveda also. The cause of day and night, change of seasons are also explained in this. And Dakshinayana, Uttarayana, what we follow is also 180 days of each has been described in the Maitri Upanishads, along with the reference of equinox and solstice. The names of 27 nakshatras, the planetary, and of 12 constellations have been given in Taittiriya Samhita. The names of different planets find place in Vedas, epics, and Brahmanas. The 5th century EC, the knowledge of astronomy and mathematics has got significantly developed by Aryabhata. 476 to 550 C has compiled variable knowledge in arithmetic and geometrical progressions, the simple and quadratic equations, method of determining the positive planets for the given day, calculation of concerning the literary month, geometrical and trigonometrical tensions of celestial sphere, features of the eclipse, celestial equinox, shape of the earth, etc. And rotation of motion of earth and phenomenon of solar and lunar eclipses. Similarly, Varahamira explained lunar and solar eclipse in a greater detail, where next the Brahmagupta around 670-598 helped bringing the pre-existing concepts of zero and that of the decimal into arithmetic. And then the next Bhaskara 600 to 600 C gave methods of find knowledge, longitude of planets. Vedas knew counting of 70 zeros up to 24 zeros at that point of time. Next, please. Similarly, Rigveda is contained about the rishis. We have rishis who have preached all these Vedas, Kanma Maharshi, Angirasa, Agastya in the Ramayana, Rasamadas, and Vishwamitra, Atri, and Vasishtha, Kashyapa, Bharat. Ramayana is the history of Vedas or the compilation of knowledge. Obviously, the rishis who were composing these verses of Rigveda were highly respectable by kings furtherly and countries of those times for their superior and consciousness divine knowledge. That explains why even Lord Rama paid obedience to them and did not miss any opportunity to get enlightened from them, from these rishis. Next, please. Similarly, Panini, this is another beautiful grammar. The author, the Panini grammar, the software from 2500 years ago, we have the Panini grammar that is given to us. NASA, that USA, confirmed that the structured grammar of Sanskrit is most suited for computers and artificial intelligence innovative knowledge. So this, next please, this knowledge of grammar deals with the study of words and sentence of structures. Panini Astadhyaya, about 4,000 sutras are defined in Sanskrit grammar, which illuminates the issues in natural language processing and artificial intelligence. Here I would like to mention that artificial intelligence, the day of the today, what we are getting this information technology, our 3G, 4G, 5G, now 5G we are. Now if artificial intelligence of Sanskrit grammar is utilized in the computers, I think perhaps in the next decades, it will go up to 100G from 5G now. That is how the Sanskrit Panini grammar is applicable, and our scholars has to put a lot of efforts in the Sanskrit Panini grammar for using the artificial intelligence for further innovative thinking for these programs, computer programs. Next, please. Sanskrit and brain functions. A recent study by neurobiologist Dr. Fred Davis at Cornell University, New York, confirmed that reading Sanskrit verses have most profound psychological effects on human brain. Coherence levels, EEG levels, heartbeat, breath rate, skin conductance level similar to meditation. That is the beauty of the Sanskrit chanting. Here I would like to mention one point that sir, we have conducted a Vedic chanting, Vedic Sanskrit chanting for curing some of the diseases with the help of TTD in SV University Medical College. And there was a lot of improvement, and this program was conducted 40 people for 40 days, and there is a lot of improvement. That is how ISER has experimented this in TTD. Next, please. Coming to we will discuss some of the basic things like physics, chemistry, etc. Now, energy can be created or destroyed, can be transmitted and transferred into one from another. That is in the Yajurveda. Whereas generating fire through friction, now also in the yajnas and where we make these homas, the fire is by wooden pieces rupture, and that is how Agni is created. And references of oil and natural gases are also in the other Veda. Solar energy. The sun is the soul of the whole world. That is in Rig Veda. There are 7 colors in solar rays, that is Atharva Veda said. The sun neither rises nor sets, and it revolves around the sun. The sun is holding on earth rather than the entire solar system through its magnetic power, that is Akarshan Shakti, that is in Rig Veda 799/3. The earth has gravitational force, Adarshan Shakti, and Akarshika Shakti, due to which things fall on earth. Swarabhata is also caused due to this gravitation. Electromagnetic waves, that is Hindu storms, gods have electricity, move around freely in the sky and create electromagnetic fields. This is said in the Rig Veda, where all these technologies have been developed, all these inventions have been developed by Westerns further. I think they have referred all these things from the Vedas, stolen Vedas, and those scientists have created all these modern theories depending on our Vedas and given to us. Next, please. Chemistry. If you look at the chemistry, the water consists of, already the oxygen, hydrogen. The seeds of creation first shown in water in Rig Veda. Rig Veda, it was said in the 10/82/5 that water, how it is developed and it is created. In Rig Veda and Yajurveda, there are several references of jewelry and weapons made of gold, silver, copper by about 5000 BC. During Ramayana era, weapons out of copper, bronze, silver, etc. are being made. During Mahabharata times, around 3000 BC, metallurgy was developed. Ornaments of gold and silver, various kinds of weapons like chisels, knives, swords, spikes, etc. and iron and copper have been excavated during at the Mahabharata times. Next, please. Chemical process of making liquor are described in Yajurveda, which is described as made of fermented rice, barley. It is also described as made out of grapes, that is draksha, and gaur and jaman, that is in the Sukshu Samhita also it is referred, as Yajurveda it is referred. Both Charaka and Sushruta refer to almost all kinds of salts which are used today, including potassium nitrate and rock salt, sodium chloride. They also describe various kinds of alkalis and caustics and micas. Brihasamsat Varamera in the 4th century provides comprehensive details of germatology, spelling mistake, germatology, perfumery, etc. Rasasastra texts were written around 600 AD. Similarly, famous iron pillar, that was opposite to Qutub Minar in Delhi, with a diameter ranging 16 feet 4 inches to 12 feet 5 inches, is more than 1500 years And it is a surprise that this old monument shows no signs of rusting at all even today and intact. That is how the chemical process and the metallurgy has been created in those days. Next, please. Botany. As per the Rig Veda, plants and herbs are created much of before the birth of human beings on the earth. The number of reference of various plants, that is 67 in Rig Veda, 82 in Yajurveda, and 282 in Atharva Veda. Manusmriti has classified the plants into 8 categories, that is Aushadha, Vanaspatya, Vriksha, Guchi, Gula, etc. And says Parasara has codified available botanical knowledge as Vriksha Veda, which reveals knowledge of Vedic people about plant cells, structures, leaf classification, and description of various types of flowering plants. It was rewritten by Surapala in 10th century, recently translated in English and circulated. Samhita in 16th century, Varamera gives method of vegetative propagations and details of transplantation, use of green manures, etc. Various plant diseases have been explained with the treatment, which includes application of cow dung, ghee, and extracts of medicinal plants. Amarkosha, 15th century, contains a list of about 300 plants. It contains reference of 12 types of soils of Indian subcontinent. Having this knowledge, our Kalamji said that there are 12 types of soils and 12 types of manures described in post-Vedic literature, and that research projects should be taken up in the subject to develop more appropriate and nature-friendly manures, keeping in mind and need of the modern side. So this is the how now we have to think of the organic farming, giving all these applications, which will be healthy food for the coming generations. Rigveda, I said that Earth has 7 types of the geology and meteorology. If you look at what are recorded in Vedas are, Rigveda, it has that Earth has 7 types of dynamic plates are mobile and have been inside Agni-garbha, Prithvi, that is in Rigveda 10:1/6. Yajurveda references of natural gases under the earth, extended after digging the earth, that is in Yajurveda. And Samhita Varamira said that just drains cultivate the garden, the winds nature the winds nurture the human body. In similar way, the network of winds under the earth, which rare plants and herbs will will survive, with the Samhita's quotation. There are several references in Rig Veda and Atharvaveda stating that there is a gold, silver, and other wealth inside the earth. That all we know that Vishwagarbha has got a lot of minerals and materials, including gold and silver, etc., and platinum. Weather forecast. This is a very important phenomena of the formation of clouds, role of electromagnetic waves, rainfall, etc., and cause of snowfalls, hails and storms and rainfall, solar rays, oxygen, hydrogen, Varuna are described in the cause of rainfall, that is in the Yajurveda with a sloka. Sun and wind clouds give energy to the earth, and trees, vegetables increase the rainfall. The rain nurtures the plants, herbs, and other living beings on the earth. Acharya Pyarani also referred about the rain gauge instrument, and Varamira has described 5 types of materialistics. And Rigveda repeatedly emphasized here a very important statement here in this Rigveda 10:180/3. Rigveda emphasizes the need of keeping the atmosphere free of pollution. This is the effect. So now with the modern science and all, we know how the global warming and all these things are happening, and how the world is making efforts to control these global warming and glaciers, glaciers disappearance. Next, please. Rigveda is composed of rishis families, which I already explained earlier. Vishwamitra, the sage Agastya Muni, who were extremely proficient in Astra Sastras and Vidyas. The weapons are invented in those days can be divided into 5 categories, that is weapons and Astras, the projections. And I will not go into the deep of this Astra Sastra. And so many in the Brahmastra, powerful of Agnisas, Astra and Sammohana Astra, all these Astras are used in the Ramayana and Mahabharata area. And these are the where the sage Agastya Muni has given a sword to Lord Rama also. So these Astras and Shastras are also in the referred in the Rigvedic time. Next, please. The sage Vishwamitra has given Lord to named Modaki and Sikh in Ramayana. There is reference of weapons in the battle between Duryodhana and Bhim in Mahabharata. Yantra Yuddha, mechanical weapons like Sadgati, Bundi, etc. were described in Ramayana and Mahabharata that I sold. And most of these weapons have been described in Yajurveda and Kautilya's Ardhashastra also. Many of these weapons will match the description of weapons still used by many tribals in India. Some of them like Sanmohana Shastra and Mohanastra are waiting to be reinvented. So this, and one can in our defense establishments, these types of weapons and this one friendly weapons can be developed. Being with this, a lot of invention can be made in this direction. Next, please. Vedic architecture and reference of Vimanas. If you look at the Varmics, there are references in Rig Veda about 3 stories buildings, thousands of pillared building, air conditioning of Atharvana Veda mentioned about air conditioning of the houses. Atharvana Veda deals with several essential aspects of constructing houses, which should be the doors, windows, etc., like our present day. And Brosanda describes the method of preparing Vajralip, which could be used for the very long life of buildings and structures. These type of technologies to be developed, for especially because of the air conditioning. The air conditioning load across the globe is very, very, that is why our global warming is cannot be monitored. So ACs, if you see the powerful buildings in the medieval area where our temples, for instance, in the South India, for instance, where is the air conditioning there? But even if the summer hot 50 degrees, if you go to the temple, it is so cool. How the natural wind, because of the design and the structures. So this type of architecture should be used, and air conditioning, mechanical air conditioning, and using of these freon gases and the CFCs should be avoided. And this is how the air conditioning technology to be developed further in the future, so that the global warming have a good effect on that. Similarly, there are a lot of long life, how the buildings are to be derived and constructed with a long life. There are several references in Divya Ratha, Vimanas and Rigveda and Atharvana Veda. There are repeated references in Vaimanika Prakarana, authored by the sage Bharadwaja. Bharadwaja Vimana Shastra is there, and some of the copies are not available. Only one edition is available, and that is to be identified. And the manuscripts in India and abroad, some of the manuscripts are there. And that Vimanas, how they are developed. A lot of things have been developed in the Vimana Shastra, for instance, the lenses, everything extra. Excuse me. Right. Next, please. Let us come to the medicinal. Rigveda refers to the naturopathy, which include Surya Chikitsa, Jala Chikitsa, Vayu Chikitsa. That is, the references are given here. Ayurveda is the most ancient as well as the living system of Indian medical sciences. Dhanvantari is considered the founder of Ayurveda. Pre-Ayurvedic knowledge is contained in Atharva Veda. There are about 350 plants have been described in Atharva Veda. However, very vast knowledge in the subject of Ayurveda is compiled by Susuta and Charaka somewhere around 800 BC. The father of surgery, the Susruta, describes more than 300 types of operations and 121 surgical instruments, which include tongs, forceps, syringes, needles, scissors, etc. Method of preservation of dead body for dissection, not like today's types. Bladder surgery, plastic surgery, and a multiple nose surgery. Administrative, the anesthesia for painless surgery. So all these things, Susruta is a surgeon in those period. And Charaka is acknowledged the germ theory, the knowledge of diseases. And however, compromised details have been given to the different kind of diseases caused by imbalance of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Ayurveda works on removing the causes of almighty ailments and propagandists, and he is known to be the ancient Indian medical knowledge and surgical knowledge influenced the. He is a mobile doctor. Charaka is a mobile doctor. He used to go across the houses and treat the people in a systematic way. And this was adapted in systems of Greece and Arabia also. Next, please. Susruta wrote the Susruta Samhita 3000 BCE that there are about 900 ligaments in the human body. They also wrote that some parts of the body, there are 4 types of ligaments. Compare with the modern scientific facts. This can be this, and that is how he used to make the medical, he is the medical genius. Next, please. Next. And surrogacy also is there, and at that point of time, Bharat surrogacy was known and practical from ancient times. And Rigveda, it is mentioned that transfer of womb from one mother to another is possible, and that was written in Vedas in some of the stanzas. Next, please. Yoga, coming to the health of the body and mind, and this yoga. Next. Patanjali Yoga Sastra, the author of Yoga Sastra, Mahapashyam, incorporation of Adisesha. Yoga reduces the stress, complexity, tension, and gives a healthy mind. Healthy mind. And there are references of yoga in Vedas in Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the 15th or 16th chapter. One chapter exclusively for the yoga is described by our Lord Krishna. And yoga is defined in the state of steadiness of senses, mind, and in yoga is a way of life by which we can perfection through the fullest development of facilities. Patanjali Yoga Sutra presents comprehensive compilation of different types of yoga practices, eightfold path, and includes yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, and pachya, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Yoga aims to purifying the mind by removing the 5 types of actions: ignorance, egotism, attraction, and hatred and fear. There are 4 main varieties of Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Kama Yoga, and Hatha Yoga. The essence of all them is detached attitude, tranquility, and practice. Yoga practice elevate the consciousness. Progress in yoga is the journey of the self from individuality to universally. Patanjali deals as the eightfold path of yoga to facilitate the journey step by step. In modern times, yoga exercises, pranayama, and meditation have become very popular. And our Prime Minister Modi ji has introduced this. Entire world has been appreciated, and since June is the Yoga Day, that is the performance of Vedic knowledge into the entire world, or Modi ji has given. Yoga exercise combined with pranayama and meditation facilitates holistic development of human beings. Next, please. There are several different types of pottery and utensils, and this is another pottery and archaeological findings, where pottery is also very important phenomena for the applications of human beings, and many types of vessels have been there. More than 6,000 years old broken pieces such as utensils and artificers have been found during archaeological excavations. Next, please. Sorry. Coming to the crops, this shows the crops in the BC 6500 BCE to 7000 BCE. These are the various pictures of the seeds, and that is, for instance, barley, wheat, and lentils, green gram, grass pea, sesame, grapes, etc. Anvala, all these things are in the agriculture phenomenon 5000, 3700, 7000 to 6000 BC, etc. Next, please. One second. Sorry. Let us see the contents of Veda, the determination of exact dates and event narrated therein. How it is possible, how we can derive all these things is by way of scientific tools and techniques made scientific. And what are those scientific tools? We have the computer and planetarium software nowadays to reports, archaeological and paleoboletic and palynology reports, underwater exploration and sea level fluctuations, geological and geographic research reports, remote sensing imagery and hydrology, genealogy charts and genetic property. A number of scientific researchers across the globe are working on in these lines in institutes, universities across the globe to unearth the scientific data and the events. Next, please. And when we discussed about the ancient sciences, what are the, during these modern days, these are the various scientists got the awards for all those discoveries. For instance, Nicolaus Copernicus and astronomy, solar system, Galileo, Newton, theory of gravitation and law of motion that is described in the Rig Veda, and William Harvey, blood circulation to the body, Alexander Fleming, and penicillin, Pasteur Lewis, and Fern Henrik Kling, father of the Swedish gymnastics, first introduced the physical therapies, and Lavoisier is considered the father of modern chemistry, and Vesalius is considered the father of modern anatomy, and Vossler, the Canadian physician, considered the father of modern medicine. Next, these are the some of the scientists. If you look at our old educational system, first, next please. The world's first university, as you all know, in the Takshashila around 700 BC, more than 10,500 students from all over the world studied in this. About 60 subjects were taught. The University of Nalanda, built in 4th century BC, was one of the greatest achievements of ancient India and in the field of education. Next, please. Manchester University confirms that Isaac Newton stole, very clearly they said, Newton stole laws of motion and gravity theory from the Hindus. The 5th chapter of Vaisheshika Sastras, Acharya Kannada speaks of laws of motion and gravity. Why do objects move? Why do they fall? What is inertia? What is impulse of motion, and so on? So that is the statement given by Manchester University about Newton. Next, please. And there are the descriptions of this one, the Trinavichakra Majorana Vedikyam, Yamevyabuhya Antasoho Yajurveda, that is the sloka. The concept of earth rotation and sun and moon, that is given in this sloka. Next, please. And whereas Kepler has given this statement in around 1600. Similarly, bacterial infections are also described in Yajurveda and Atharvana Veda. If we go area-wise, it can be assessed. There is plenty of scope for applied research avenues for innovative R&D to develop technologies which can be environmentally friendly. That is more important. which can be adopted by which are adopted by our predecessors very successfully. Western scientists and Indian scientists achieved laurels to the highest standards of sciences. That is why we are, the sciences are now existing. Science is very, very modern and we have a lot of benefits, but at the cost of our environment and health. So this is the only thing which that's why at present here is just a tip of iceberg and lots of avenues are available in innovative R&D. Next, please. And the Chaturvedas have clearly described all these phenomena of Ayurvedic science, Dhanurveda, Upanishads, Ganita Shastra, Khagola Shastra, the geology, Nakshatra Shastra, astronomy. Next. Rasayana Shastra, chemistry, Bhaugolika Shastra, Kirana Shastra, Vriksha Shastra, Loha Shastra, and Pasu Shastra, Spatas Shastra, Natya Shastra, Nyaya Shastra, the law, Jyotish Shastra, Niti Shastra, the administration, and many such areas of scientific and administrative knowledge. Next, please. And now coming to the, I will next discuss in the next slides about what we have to do and what our medieval period sciences, how they have, the life, how they have utilized the scientific ways and how they are lived with the health and how the management managed the issues. Here is a very important is the book search. So this is a very, while we lost the scripts, as I already told, the available Vedic scripts are scattered across the country and abroad. And in our country, we have the Benares University, JNU, and some of the Rashtriya Sanskrit universities. We have these types of Vedas and scriptures and Upanishads, etc. But how to pull up this? It is necessary to identify the location and prepare a database and make them available to the needy with a digital database. In this aspect, CSIR, our government of India, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, moving forward in this direction. With the Department of Traditional Knowledge they have put and a digital library, and many scripts are available with reference online. And they are coordinating with the universities and all other institutions, and wherever, in instance, in the Tamil Nadu, we have got a lot of, in Tanjavur also, we have got a lot of scripts. And all these things are to be pulled up and make a research and make a pool and make it a digital phenomenon. Some of the areas of research of healthcare, ancient, etc., and all these things, Pasu Shastra, metallurgy, etc., and many areas, all these books are available, and these are to be digitalized to have free access to the scholars. Next, please. This is a big project. And physical sciences, which I already discussed, Varamira, 100 years, and as I said, Newton has stolen this in 1670s. Next, please. Next. And this is one of the Yojanam Sahasre Dvedve Sateji Yosine Ekesha Nimishartha Krama Mana Namostute. The speed of the light is given in this sloka about 1,80,000 miles per second, and this is when it is given, and it is in the Samapurana and the Rigveda Vashana. Whereas in the this is copied by our modern scientists. Next, please. Similarly, Saugan Gori has stolen this microscopic, where in our microscope is given in our Vedic stanzas. Nyadarsane Aprapya Grahanam Kacha Abhrapatala Spatikantirvat Palatyate. That is, microscope was invented there in the Vedic period itself. Next, please. And similarly, this is the same that this one. Next, please. Next slide. Next slide. And I will just briefly another 15-20 minutes I will finish off and giving the medieval period, how the people lived, what are the culture they have made, and for the health as well as the management and administration. India has a vision of health. The concept is Aswini Gant is started from Aswini Devata concept, and food and need of food and need of exercise. That is very important. Yoga asanas, Surya Namaskaras, effects of medicines. Next, please. What is the methodology they made? Fasting and pachas. That was there. And recently in 2006, when Japan scientists said, and he got the Nobel Prize for fasting, and we never know, but we are practicing since thousands and thousands of years. But Nobel Prize has got because Japan scientists have said that fasting and pachas are great for the health. And selection of food, rest and upasanas, ethics of doctors, cause of illness, physiology, organisms, precautions to be taken for good health. All these things have been described in various books. Next, please. I will also give some of the books that are available in these things. And solar therapy, water therapy, yoga therapy, music therapy, Reiki, energy healing for health and consciousness. All that is described in the health and food books that are available. Next, please. And doctors and surgeons, and Susruta, the knowledge of surgery, and Charaka, the mobile doctor. And here another doctor, Bharateeya, Nadi Vaidya Shastra. You see, up to my age, around when I was child, the doctor used to touch your hand and see the pulse and find out what disease you have. And in our olden age, as per Bharateeya, the disease of any organ in the body or what is exactly happening, they used to get with the pulse, with the nadi. And whereas now it is given by our CT scan, MRI and X-ray, this and that. And this is the modern way of finding the disease. Whereas Bharateeya, why not our doctors? Ayurvedic doctors are professional doctors. They can find out this Nadi Vaidya, which is very cheap and no X-rays needed. So this type of practices must reintroduced and reinvented and find out and bring to the people nearer. Next, please. Mental health and psychology. Discussion of mind in the Upanishads has been described very nicely. Mental influence on health. Influence of Puranic related stories to mind and mental development. Yoga and meditation by Patanjali. Controlling the mind, jhana, food and mind, sattvic. These are all parallelly has to be monitored. Effect of Vedic chants of mind. Customs and influence the mental health and family relations. These are all very important for mental health. And there are food sciences. Variety of food, Indian food is excellent food. Balance, nowhere in the world you will get the Indian foods, and especially in the world in the used in the medieval periods. Balanced nutritious foods, natural traditional baby foods. The medicinal components usually added in the foods like asafoetida, turmeric, variety of spices are used. Advices on food during illness. So this is the types of food and sciences. Of course, we have got the good sciences, food sciences institutes also in the country. Health, food and purification, Charaka Samhita. And these are the books where we will get this knowledge of food. Charaka Samhita we can get. And Manasollasa, that is 11th tendency, King Someswara and Bahadur, Upabhoga Karana. Namantra, 1500 CE, and Malwa king has been given. And Supasastra, that is in 1508 by Magasara, and this is mainly on the Jainism food. Next, please. Specialized cooking. So cooking is also very important. They used to use in the brass vessels, the roasting, fermentation, processing, preserving it, and varieties of foods in the sciences, and generation of specific flavors and foods by suitably modifying the spices. This knowledge is all given in these textbooks that are available. Next, please. Opting for integral balanced foods, fasting and vara, science of selecting variety of based on seasons, seasonal food. We have got all the seasons, their food should be changed. That is the phenomenon. Importance of selecting cooking vessels, for instance, iron, zinc, copper, silica, and sodium, potassium, etc. Varieties of vegetables in their significance and balanced healthy foods with significant scientific observation. Need for more R&D in Indian foods and naturopathy and vegetarian food. This is a lot of work is to be done on this. Next. Ancient knowledge of chemistry and chemical age. And we have got in the chemistry a lot of very Nice books of Rasaratna Samuchayam and Rasarnvarnam, Rasendra Chudamani, Rasaratnamana, and many similar books. These books are available in Sanskrit with English and Hindi scripts, and these are to be translated. Most of the Sanskrit are to be translated in regional languages and bring it to the people. There is a need to translate many translated books, and Sanskrit names and are to be transmitted. And ancient scripts contains details of setting of laboratories, qualification of chemists, laboratory assistants, research scholars, etc. Acharya Nagarjuna is centuries ago used in organic materials in the medicines. And next, Vijaya and reference of Bharadwaja Vimanic Shastra also, and in Brosamita. Next, please. And next, please. A variety of plant products, biopesticides. Biopesticides are to be used, and now chemical fertilizers and chemical pesticides have come up, and now this is to be replaced by biopesticides using of neem, tulsi, etc., clove, cotton seeds, soil, castor oil used to biopesticide for some other perspectives. And traditional methods of pest controls are adapted in some villages still, and for the organic farming purposes. And to save the earth and also soil and health of the human beings, this type of biopesticides are to be developed by research and reinventing. Next. Detailed descriptions are Ukshayurveda by Sarangadhara, Kachayana, Varamira, Parasara, and others. Next, please. Active plant biochemicals, medicinal plants and herbs, understanding as many plants as possible, which are good sources of bioactive components. Variety of plants used for curing diseases. The herbs are useful, shrubs are useful, creepers are useful, grass, trees, etc. The plants, leaves, buds, flowers, etc. We have made an experiment with Patola the Kashayam by mixing herbs in our ISER with some Vijayawada chemical pharmaceutical plant, and for some of the diseases. This is excellent way we did this type of experiment. Next, please. The medicinal preparations, plant biochemistry comes it in the Indian Rasasiketa books, is preparation, processing, and prevention. The plant products used to drugs, the raw drugs, the harvesting and drying, very important. And active biochemicals processing, understand many plants as possible, and this variety of creepers. Next, please. And processing, prevention. The plant products use the drugs, the raw drugs, harvesting, drying, etc. are very important. Variety of Ayurvedic drug formulations obtained by mixing many raw drugs. Next, please. Need of standardization. This is a very important phenomenon that we require for Ayurvedic formulations. For these Ayurvedic formulations, every house has Ayurvedic formulations, and we do not have a standard. They see some of this one and mix as they will not make it in a perfect way. So, like our English medicines, our allopathic medicines, there is a need for standardization of Indian medicine like allopathic medicine. Formulations as per their convenience for making whims and fancies they are doing. Government departments like Ayush, R&D institutions are in the process of standardization, and this required to speed up so that we will have wonderful Ayurvedic medicines in the next future. Next, please. Knowledge on the preparation, drying, storing, heating, roasting, boiling, etc. These are very important components for preparation of a drug, like in the chemical process or chemical process medicine. This Ayurvedic also requires these standards. That is what exactly the meaning of this. Next, please. Next. Plant growth, grafting, irrigation, use, manure, seeds preservation, phototropism, agricultural practices, both basic and applied. Wide scope for further advance. Applied is research in the areas in the medicinal and herbal plants inventions. Next, please. Fermentation technology also very useful, and preparation of juice, medicinal preparations, these types of, because through fermentation these therapies can be made, and traditional liquors and coconut and palm products are also there in this, and many are references in the books that are given in the Rasa Sastras. Next please. Next, knowledge of ancient Indian mines, if you go for the which are active during 3 more millennia. Mines and ores are mineral, copper, gold, etc. are distributed throughout Rajasthan, Haryana, Bihar, Bengal, Gujarat, etc. The technology adopted for digging, mining, transportation, process, etc. Provisions given for aeration and lighting in mines. The present day scenes of ancient metallurgical science, you can see all these ancient mining theory. The production and purification methods were also there in the medieval period, where our purification of metals like tin, copper, etc., all the metals, understanding of the chemical reaction, accompanied with oxidation, reductions, like all these things are there in the ancient, especially in the medieval era, where we have got a lot of structures and monuments. Next, please. These are the reference books. For instance, the Chanukya Satyasastra we have. Metallic alloys preparation responded by Bharadwaja's writings, and metal ingots, etc. Or other, our technologies has been taken to the countries like Athens, Babylon, and Rome and Egypt, also our metallurgical phenomena. Next, please. Iron making, that also it is there, and in all this one, and this, our iron is export to Europe and Middle East countries during medieval period, with a very qualitative and quantitative making technologies. Next, please. Ceramics also we have, and glazed vessels, beads, bricks produced in Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, Varanasi, Takshila, Kalimban, Hastinapura, and many other north and south and north places. A variety of coloring materials used in the ceramic vessels and decoration of ceramic articles. Next, please. Glass technology also is a beautiful, and these are this glass technology. If you see in Europe, there are a lot of work has been done, and because our technology only they are using. And if you see the European regions where we get this glass technology, especially one must see the Swarovski Crystal Museum, where our technologies are used, are beautiful crystals, beautiful, and our 2 eyes are not sufficient to see that. That is how the Swarovski Crystal Museum. These technologies are from India. That is what I would like to emphasize. Next, please. Instruments, discussion of various instruments are given in Bharadwaj Vimana Shastra. Only part of the book is available, Vaimanika Shastra, and artificial metallic and non-metallic compounds, dyes used in molding instrument parts, the instruments used in astronomical calculations, and the title of Jyotihar Yantra were also done. Next, please. Musical instruments we used to have in the medieval period, and all these things are again from the Vedic period. Vedic period, these are again through Upanishads and all that, he has come to the medieval era and best utilized all these basic knowledge of sound of music. The granite music pillars known in Sangeeta Mandapa, seen in the ancient South Indian, the traditional Indian musical instruments like flute, Dhaka, Mridanga, Chanda, Tasrada, Nadaswara, Veena, violin, harmonium. So the basic principle are adapted and making the use of the musical instruments. Surgical instruments similarly, and also made and are used in the Sastras are also used in the medieval period. And discussion of plastic surgery techniques, instruments for kidney stone removal and stitching, etc. Next, please. And Rasaratna Samuchaya describes the use of chemical labyrinths as a process of like distillation, sublimation, extraction, dyeing, heating, roasting, mixing, etc. And 35 types of ceramics have been described in this, sir. Next, please. And kilns and furnaces, moshas and potas are also used. Next, please. Because of time, I will just skip some of the slides. Painting technology. This is excellent painting technology. If you see the Ajanta Ellora, the paintings are still a lot of glamour. And those paintings We don't have now, but today if we paint and tomorrow we cannot see, such paints are available. So this type of preparation of mixing, applying the processes, pre-processed surfaces, select and process the plant products used as paints. Plant products are used for paints. This is important. The prescription of inks for a variety of applications of mural painting, soil painting, preparation of painting beds, and walls, canvas. And today only I have seen one natural paint. Don't purchase the chemical paints. Let us purchase the natural paints. Some people have invented and they are now marketing. And now that type of encouragement interventions we have to encourage and use the natural paints for our houses or whatever it may be everywhere. Next, please. And textiles. This is another important area where Chanakya Santasastra described and retakes the textiles produced in cotton, silk, wool, jute, and also incorporates gold and silver. And even our early days, we used to have Benares sarees, have gold. Still, people are vendors are coming. If you have any old sarees, I will purchase. So this gold was there. So this type of textile technology is also during the medieval periods. Next, please. Architecture and civil engineering, as I mentioned, where we have got as constructed with the kings of Chola, Pandya's, Chara, Hoysalas, Kakatiya, and Vijayanagar kingdoms. If you go to Hosur, Vijayanagara, see the architectural marvels and all these Chola and Pandya, Tamil Nadu structures, Tamil Nadu temples. Can you come out from those temples if you see? What is the architecture they have built? And there is no mechanism of machines to lift the things. How they have made such a huge tall and tallest structures of gopurams, etc. The instruments used for measuring, maintaining the geometry of these structures, the granite, marbles, stone cutting, polychemical device, etc. during that time. The transportation adapted for the huge granite process. And I don't know, who do not know how they managed all these things to build up such structures of gopurams. Next, please. Temples of Kanchivaram, Rameswaram, that's what I mentioned. The music pillars and music mandapas, the knowledge of sound waves, and all these become because of the natural way of construction, the architects, the civil engineers. We have to salute them and how they have made this type of temples. The construction, cave temples in Ajanta, Ellora, Elephant on the knowledge of geological aspects of rocks and caves. Huge places constructed, particularly like Jaisalmer Palace, palaces in Pink City, Rajasthan, Gwalior, Mysore, Hyderabad we have. So that type of things are, and as I mentioned already, the air conditioning of temperature, maintaining such as tall structures without using machines, natural, everything natural. And reservoirs are made, and tanks and reservoirs are made for cooling the such huge buildings. We have to learn more on these novel structures, constructed and technologies adapted. The civil engineering sciences and technologies of forts and walls. China is the archaeological important like Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Dwarka, the lost city need to be learned by us. Physics, velocity, and this is all we have already made, and a lot of work can be Bharadwajas. We can make Bharadwajas, Vimanas for making inventions in the lenses, prisms, magnetic materials, magnets, weights, and measures, linear parameters. Ancient observations are more scientific and compared to modern sciences, and this type of practices. And now again the Pythagoras theorem. Next, please. 0. On Bodhana Shastra, Pythagoras theorem has the origin in the Sulabha Sutras, and Van Schindler, a great hydrologist, says known to Indians 10,000 years before Pythagoras. Our Bodhana Shastra says pi is the British scholars appreciated by 99 Bodhana work dated back to centuries where our zero has been invented. Next, please. Aryabhata. Pythagoras theorem that is in 550, whereas Bhujakola Vargamana Theorem that is in the Yajurveda itself, in the Vedic stanzas is there. Next, please. Aryabhata, born in 476 CE, Kerala, Nalanda product, the main Aryabhata valuable contributions at the untold. The value of pi is given by Aryabhata, 3.14, very useful. Pi and 0 Without pi and 0, there is no world at all. 0. And author of new coding theory. Next, please. 0. Without 0, there is no world at all. And that is given by us. And decimal system was on Aryabhata and Brahmapatra long before it appears in the Arabs and Syrians. And it was adopted in China from Buddhist missionaries. Next, please. And in Ramayana, we have given the Pandavas 10 to the power 12 millions. It was mentioned in Ramayana system. Next, please. Mathematics and astronomy that given the knowledge of mathematics are Aryabhata 1, Aryabhata 3, Bhaskaracharya, Bhaskara, Vatesha, Manjula, Lalla, Varahamera, Parameshwara, Sankaranarayan, and many other mathematics. There are books are available. And Bhaskaracharya calculated the time taken to Earth to orbit the Sun hundreds of years before the astronomy starts. Time taken to Earth to orbit the Sun is 15th century. It is given as 365 days and so on, so to the fourth digit. What he said is Albert Einstein said, we owe a lot to Indians who taught us how to count without mate, which no erstwhile scientific discovery could have been. Next, please. And mathematics, we have got the Sanskrit numbers, Aryabhata number, both of Sankhya, Katobhaja number, progressions, etc. Aryabhata, Bhaskaracharya, Sankaranarayana, Sangametra, Madhavacharya, Putramanya, Somayaji, Vateswara, Aryabhata to Sankarvarman and Parameshwaracharya. These are the great mathematics at that point of time who has given us all these astronomical parameters, etc. And by the type of Revical parameters described with the definition of Venkatacharya, like coal altitude, prime meridian, and motion of planets, etc., etc. And this is given by Venkatacharya. Vateswaracharya, sorry. And I will last few slides. I have another 5 minutes. I will complete. The management sciences, management principles expressed in Chanakya and Chanakya Shastra. Our medieval people really, they have got an excellent management with ministers and other people. Chanakyas and Chanakya Shastra, Bhatrahari, Upadesha Shastra, Vidura and Viduraniti, Bhishma and Bhishma Upadesha, and other books like Yoga Vasistha, Bhagavad Gita, Sukraniti, Subhashtam mentioned in Panchatantra, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Tirukkural. All these things describes the Indian management's way of systems. And economics also, they are not left anything. The book of Arthashastra written by Chanakya, also known as Kautilya, which is a book of ancient Indian economics. There are many books mentioned in Arthashastra like Sastras and Samhitas during the subject like money, budgets, banking, interest, loans, compound interest, penal interest, everything is there in this economics. The detailed method of implementing sales tax, agriculture tax, property tax are also described. The kings of various dynasties followed all these types of economics in the ancient Indian medieval period. Next. Shad Darsanas, the philosophical computation known as Darsanas, Vyasa, Jaimini, Patanjali, Gautama, Kapila, Kannada, Purva, Uttara Mimamsa, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaiseshika, and the most important books, the fundamental principles of physics, chemistry, biology mentioned above in Darsanas, Adi Sankaracharya, Advaita, and Madhavas Dvaita, the book of Charvaka known as Charvaka Samhita and Anthem. Other than the specific philosophical computation, the philosophical description in Upanishadta, Bhagavad Gita, and Yoga Vasistha. Next, please. Dynamic way of life. This is a very important phenomena to us, given to our ancient people. The Indian life, the self-imposed duties and responsibilities during privileges coming under Dharma Shastra. The dharmas of duties of each family member is described, known as Pitru, father, mother, Matru, Putra, son, Putri, daughter, Putrine, wife, Patni, wife, and Bhatru, husband dharmas. Similarly, dharmas of teacher, village head, king, queen, 4 purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. 4 ashramas, brahmacharya, guhastha, sannyasi, and vanaspati. Selection of jobs and professions specialized in based on varnas also given in the Dharma Shastra. This is how we have. The Will Durant, the American historian, said, India was the mother of our race and Sanskrit is the mother of European languages. India was the mother of our philosophy, of much of our mathematics, of the ideals embodied in Christianity, of self-government and democracy. Mother India is the mother to all of us. A wonderful statement given by Will Durant. Next, please. Again, Dr. Abdul Kalamji said, Vedas are the oldest classical and most precious treasures of India. The soul of Bharateeya Sanskrit dwells with the Vedas. The entire world admits the importance of Vedas. Tell me why the media here is so embarrassed to recognize our own strengths, our own achievements. We are amazing success stories, but we refuse to acknowledge them. Why? He himself felt that why we could not develop. So such is the wonderful message given by the past president. And finally what I conclude is, the vast resources of ancient scientific knowledge needs to be unearthed and invented. Innovative applied research to be taken in the universities, selecting the areas, and our young scholars must come forward to take up at least some of these issues in various areas. I have made very small presentation, but still lots and lots of available for the innovation theories and for future. Our future is our this one. Next, please. And this is how finally said, we are links of great past to a grand future. That is what he said. Here it gives me great pleasure. On this day, 15th October, the birthday of Abdul Kalam, I will present this to Dr. Abdul Kalam ji on this day, and I request all of you to join with me to give our remembrances to the past president of India, Abdul Kalam ji. Thank you very much for giving me the best opportunity to share my little knowledge on this Vedic and ancient sciences. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It's a great remembrance and great presentation on the occasion of the birth day of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, a reverend scientist, philosopher, and knowledgeable people, and father of our science in India. So, if you observe, I request all the participants to go through the PPTs once again. The one important aspect you can find is every word what he talked, he has given with pramanam of sloka. You must understand that. See, many people talk nowadays so many things without giving any pramanam, without giving any sloka number. Just they talk, that's all. That is there, this is there, but it's not there like this. It is a presentation by a person who is working last 15 years or 20 years rather on this subject of finding out what is there in Vedas and at which place it is there, which slokam it is there. That's how the eyes are working last so many years on this subject. Kupa Krishnamurthy Garu and other team members, Dr. Murthy Garu and others, so many people are worked on this issue, and they made a lot of experiments also. They made a lot of homas, they made science experiments and homas, and all these things were proven things they were talking about. So it's very authentic. It's not just Pukkidi Puranam, very authentic with sloka reference. And there is a lot of opportunity for young graduates to go through, learn Sanskrit, go through those slokas and find what more is there in that and present to the public. So few thousands of doctorates can be obtained now with this. Few thousands. And Dr. Prabhu, like seniors are there who can guide you people. So Dr. Prabhu is there, Dr. Ramalavadan Garu is there. So many people who are knowledgeable in Vedas as well as science. People are there. Only thing people have to approach, they should be recognized, they will approach, and then you can take guidance and become scholars and doctorates in that subjects. So a Vedic, a standard Vedic university is to establish is one of the aims of Vedasam Samiti also. I don't know how far we can achieve that. But this is the research is one of the important subjects of our Vedasam Samiti aims. Four aims. One is Sanskrit, and two is production preservation of this thing, and fourth one being on the streamlining karmakandas, and fourth one is research on Sastras. So these are the important principles, very important lecture. It's very lengthy lecture, and bringing the whole science into a few hours, 1 hour the topic is a very extraordinary job, and with Pramanam. That's what I'm very much want to focus on it. With Pramanam, with sloka numbers. Please remember that. And people who are interested in this, come forward and learn Sanskrit and go to the slokas and find out what is there in that, whether what he told is there or not. You check yourself with your own eyes. That's what I suggest to the younger generation people. With this, let us go to this question answer session. Lalita ji, please take over.
Thank you, Mahodaya. Thank you for the excellent lecture. We all got a lot of knowledge about the research technologies, ancient technologies, which was really an eye-opener for all of us. Now I request our students, whoever, the audience, whoever wants to raise any questions, please, you can do that. Yeah. Gautam ji, first. Yeah, it is Gautam ji. Gautam ji, please, you can ask.
Namaskar, sir. So actually, as one of the slides you have told that one has to translate all the Sanskrit verses from the Vedas so that this becomes a comes under mainstream education system. Either this should be done, or sir, the Sanskrit itself should be emphasized more so that students learn, more and more students learn Sanskrit, and then they themselves read from Veda and understand the things. Because this such a storehouse of things, both ways there should be approach. Either this should be translated, and parallelly people also should learn Sanskrit, so that such a vast storehouse of knowledge can be unearthed and can come in the mainstream education system.
Yes, sir. That is the where we are falling. Sanskrit scholars doesn't know English, and modern scientists doesn't know English. This is the phenomena. Now we have to bring how the government has to think how this educational pattern, how these science scholars and scholars, research scholars have to be mingled and understand the subject and come forward for the more innovation. This is how where we are lagging, and this requires a lot of attempts from the government side and the educational fields, so that this will bring laurels.
Next.
Yeah, Vivek ji, you can. Vivek ji?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Namaskar, Mahodaya. I just want to ask one thing, that this was all these technologies and the knowledge was a part of the olden civilization. How we can correlate to the modern science, and how we can use the olden knowledge in the modern system? Means it is only for the learning, and learning that we only for the proud we should learn that we have the older knowledge, we have the good Asian civilization. But what is the use in the methodology of the today's use? That I want to ask you. Have you got my question?
See, he's already explained number of times that's the modern, the way it can be used. The normal present technology is going on a destructive methodology and having a lot of implications on health and other things. By using our Vedic technology, we can have the concentration on the bioorganic type of these things can be achieved, and that type of technologies can be developed if you go into the details. It's not that just it cannot be adopted to the modern technology, modern requirements. See, the last 1,000 years, our science has not attracted the research to the applications of the growing population of the world. This last 1,000 years, we are under back foot. We are under attack. We are struggling to survive for our life itself. Every day it is a fight with the people who are invading us. So now we have got a freedom. Now we should think of having our own research institutions are there. Now we should bring back the glory of Vedic type of living and Vedic type of application of the technology to the happy living of the humanity. That's what he was, number of times he was telling. Murthy, please. His question is how it is useful to the modern way of this thing, the technology, old technology.
You are muted.
Mute, sir. Mute. You are mute. No, sir.
No, we are not able to hear you.
So, one thing I will tell you is at this point is first one is we should recognize that the roots are there with us. That has been developed. No doubt the science have been developed in Western side in multifold, and we should use the technology. We are not against that. Thing is the technology that is there, the roots are there. Recognition of the roots is not there now present society. First, that is to be obtained. And second one, what wrong way the technology and the knowledge is being used. That wrong usage of knowledge will destroy the humanity. All the modern problems of weather conditions or the health conditions, all these things are following wrong technology, wrong usage of the technology. So that should be properly utilized for the positive side of the health improvement and other things and happy living also. So that's what he was concentrating on, telling those things. Please, Murthy garu, మీరు మాట్లాడగా మీరు వచ్చారు లైన్ లోకి.
No, I think ఆయన మళ్ళా వెళ్ళి మళ్ళా రీజాయిన్ అయ్యేట్లున్నారు సార్.
So that's what the point we should think of here. The first point is recognizing the roots are there in our technology, in our Vedas, and that roots are being utilized by the people and they are developed. We give the credit to them. There's nothing wrong in that. They have developed a lot. But roots, where from they got the roots? Why should they say Pythagoras has delivered the theory of this thing? And why should they say that pi is discovered by somebody else? And it was there earlier. You have taken from them and you are saying your own name. And because we are just keeping quiet, we are not talking about our capacities. And second thing is how to be properly utilized those things. The research is to be done by us now and bring to the society for the betterment of this humanity. This is to be done. One is recognition, second is research. Okay, next question.
Yeah, Gupta ji, you please.
Are there any identified topics for the research now?
That's what he has mentioned number of times. The whole slides, they are there. Every sloka is to be identified.
No, that is giving a broad category. But what I am trying to request you is, did you make any specific topics, say about 50 or 100 topics which is to be selected by the people, or we have to find the topic in that broad area?
We have to start the things again, and government has to take over. And the main area is Ayurveda itself is one big topic. One is major conditions of country for problems of the country now, health problems, and this corporate sector, these things, which medical field is not allowing us to progress. Ayurveda medicine is much better medicine than Indian medicine systems now, than other allopathic medicine systems now.
No, that is true. Being an engineer, I am trying to understand whether there are any topics which are readily available for the engineers to take it up. Ayurveda and social sciences, they are very ripe and their basic knowledge can be utilized. for
You
the
can get
betterment.
into artificial intelligence right now. And many people are doing already, some people, an Indian scientists. And Prabhu, you can be touch with Dr. Prabhu. We are working on that now. No? Yesterday, last class also, yesterday class only, Prabhuji was talking about that only. To develop the subjects for research. And last 1 year, we made the project sign the roots of modern science in Vedic Vangmayam. We got 50 papers. We presented various articles on these things. And now again, we started another project. Now we are starting another project now. In our Vangmayam, what are the various Samajika Drukpadam, how it is there. And I'm releasing this now shortly, asking for the papers. Read any book and find out the contents of the book in 10 ways. Those 10 ways I'm going to give in the invitation to present the papers. That all will give a perspective to have what type of research is to be done in future.
Now, am I clear now, sir?
Yes, yes. Now you are clear.
Because
sir.
it was a mute, I was unable to remove from the unmute. Okay. Yeah. The topics that what exactly is looking is, in each area there are a lot of topics what I mentioned. For instance, metals. We have used one, we studied one Ghantarava Loha. We have made an experiment in BHEL with a BHEL. Ghantarava, the sound absorbing metal that is taken from Bharadwaja. I think it takes 1 hour to give that lecture. So a lot of, there is a slokas, stanzas in Bharadwaja Vimanas Sastra. And to analyze that and to revalidate, to understand, it took a lot of time, and somehow we could make it and made that component with the assistance, and it is successful. So similarly, we have to identify, because it's not on the shelf. Exactly what research is doing is not on the shelf. We have to find out what are the issues that are prevailing and take up the job, and in association with the, because it requires a lot of funding. Any research requires a lot of funding and coordination with the public as well as libraries and universities and those who can give the exact answer. So similarly, we have made in ICER, we have made at least 3 to 4 projects like this. One is on Patala Kashayam in Ayurveda for the doctor and as a medicine, and this metallic component, and from Bharadwaja Vimanas Sastra. There are lenses, many lenses we can use. Many lenses we can develop that will be useful for the defense services, for the aircrafts. A lot of lenses technology, that is a lot of beautiful slokas in Bharadwaja Vimanas Sastra. So similar applications are there, and in area wise for metallurgy or chemistry, for the chemistry, and medicine of course, as well as for the engineers, as you said, the metals we can use. And similarly, very important component what I mentioned is the agriculture. Very important. Biopesticides. We have to make use of biopesticides, and we have to stop this chemical biopesticides and chemical fertilizers, because our soil is since last 75, 50, 60 years, our soil has eroded, and we are not getting good yields from the, and also the health problems for the human beings. So in the agriculture area, lots and lots of things can be done to convert into the organic in the next few decades, and that is how we can save the this one. And similarly, for mechanical engineers, the air conditioning. Lot of carbons are used, carbon CFCs are used across the globe, and the global phenomena, the Mount glaciers are evaporating and getting sea levels are rising. All these phenomena are happening because of the air conditioning and CFCs. Why not we replace these things with the natural phenomena where ancients are used? This, if you think of this, many applications are there, and In the next, as our Prime Minister said, the future, if we use all these technologies by innovation and unearth and do the needful thing, entire world globe will see again the Bharat technologies. That is how we have to proceed. And there is no, as you asked, there is no shelf technology readily available, but we have to analyze, invent, and reinvent and proceed. That is what I would like to share.
Chakravarti ji, yeah, Chakravarti ji, it's your turn now.
Please unmute and talk.
Yeah, yeah, now he is.
Unmuted and again muted.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, please talk.
Sorry, I think there is some kind of press on the laptop. This thing, that's reason. Namaste to all. Sri Murthy has taken very vividly the vastness of Veda knowledge with his excellent effort and experience. What we can say is in the Vedic knowledge, what is in the creation, what God has given, everything is there in our Vedic knowledge and Sanatana Dharma. You take whether any kind of science, engineering, all aspects are there. What the modern, this thing, Europeans or foreigners, what they are doing is, it is the word given, research, what is already existing, that only they are finding and giving some kind of documentation or some kind of numbers to prove that they are right. But what already is there in Indian Vedic culture and knowledge, outside nothing is there, and what the others are finding it is they are reiterating and representing that with some kind of figures and facts that only we are accepting. And the thing is, the unfortunate thing is, as Acharya Prabhakar Rao has said, we are 1,000 years, there is a link miss. One is with the invaders, number one, then Europeans, then after that post-independence, some 70 years, the double of wrong things done by the invaders and Europeans.
You're right.
The government has done it. That's the reason, even after independence, with pride, we are unable to rather bring our roots back, either our Hinduism or culture or glory, Sanatana Dharma, or the Sanskrit language. The only thing is, in any country, they will respect their culture, their mother tongue, and their traditions. You go to America or Russia or anything, they say advanced countries. I have seen there, the thing is, what we are doing, less than that, they believe in that. But why we are missing that? So only thing is, and also one aspect, so some Chatterjee Saab and everyone asked, is there any specific topic for research to be done? When you take a heap of rice, you have to take only one grain of rice, which is different from others. Can we do it? It's not possible. Like that, our knowledge, and there is so much of this thing, information that's to be taken out. As Sir has given in his PPT, out of so many slokas, for example, in Vedas, if you take out of 1,000 slokas, only 3 are available. 997 are missing.
Yes.
That gives an indication where we are lacking, or maybe the thing is because of the link miss, or only our Vedas and everything Upanishads are not any kind of documented way. So that kind of continuity somewhere we have missed it. And this, if there is any possibility, I don't want to rather say it, but the thing is, with the present government and with so many realizing that this kind of things can happen, only thing is, what we have to do is maybe we have to realize that our culture is great, our Hinduism great, our Sanatana Dharma is great, and our language Sanskrit is great. Like that kind of realization comes to majority of the people, then it can be carried out. That's it. A few words I want to say. Namaste.
Thank you very much for your share.
But sir,
there is what happening with our political things.
You mean to say? Sorry, I missed it. Voice. Hello.
Yes, sir. That is why our politicians and the politics must change, you know. So how Modi has created this yoga.
That's
So
it.
that type of practice should be there in every field. That is what I
And
anticipate.
at the same time, sir, now what is already there, for example, cow is there. For every cow item, either the cow dung, cow urination, everything, there are so many.
Yes, yes. A lot of things can be done. Yes, with cow urine, cow products, a lot of efforts and lot of research, reinventions can be done.
That is there in our Sanatana Dharma agriculture. But now the European, someone is claiming the patent for every aspect what is there in India and our Vedic culture.
Everything they were, even for our.
We are living in a false world. At least what we have to rather realize is the value of our culture, our Dharma, and our language, Sanskrit. That's the only thing is.
Yes.
The thing is, unless it
Anybody
comes
else?
from the Western world, we will not recognize. That is what is happening.
That's true.
So,
This
as we thought of now, first is realize what is the roots are there, what roots are there, which are being utilized by the others, and what research we can do now. That we have to do it now. And the very immediate fact we see the Ayurveda. Ayurveda, how much concentration you have given Ayurveda in the last 70 years? See, if you give about 10 medical colleges, MBBS college, you give one Ayurveda college. How research can be done on Ayurveda? If you don't study the Shastra and all those things properly in the medical line, the Ayurveda cannot be developed. You bent on killing these things instead of developing, you bent on killing last 70 years. So now it has to reverse back. We have to find out what is to be. We have to find out all the what is question was any 100 items for research. Yes, we have to do that, and that efforts are to be put. Padmini ji, please.
To permit.
Namaste, sir. I'm Dr. Padmini. I'm a doctorate in botany and retired as a principal of a college. I'm interested in this biopesticides, sir. I have done some work in that. Some preliminary work, published a paper. I want to do further research in that. So I think in this I can collaborate, and including organic farming. I have a few ideas. So let me know how to proceed.
Yes. Here, where you live, madam?
I live in Padmarao Nagar.
Oh, yes, again, Hyderabad. Excellent,
Yes.
very near.
Yeah.
No, we have a concept, and in IICT, Indian Institute of Chemical Technology, where I worked. There are departments there, and natural products inventions.
Okay.
And that department will take the medicinal values of the rest of that work is going on. Whereas there is another department for all these agricultural pesticides.
Okay.
Earlier they used to have for the chemical chemical processing, chemical pesticides. Now there is also a wing in that, the biopesticides.
Yeah, that's what I'm interested.
We have developed a pheromone. The agricultural field, a pheromone is used.
Okay.
It attracts the other gender and kills, and both will be knocked down. And thus how the pesticides will be avoided in the crops. So we have developed that technology that is mostly friendly, and this is a biotype of biopesticides.
Yeah, I've also.
Pheromones you must have heard. And similarly, we can coordinate, and if you have got any ideas on the botanical, this one.
Okay, I'll contact you, sir. I'll contact you.
I've
identified a plant.
Yeah. You have to identify the plant, and they will collaborate, and definitely they will be happy to work, and all the facilities they will give, and you will be the coordinator, and you can do that.
Okay. Let me see, sir. Thank you.
And similarly, in other, not only here.
Even organic farming also is related to that, isn't it?
Yes, organic chemistry. Chemistry, that is our work actually in the IICT. That is our work. So they'll be very happy to take up such type of projects.
That is how to increase the shelf life of stored grains, because most of them are damaged due to bacteria and fungus. So in this
Oh.
direction, I have done some work. I want to further like.
Yeah, that we can do that. Yes.
Okay,
If you
I'll
go to
contact you.
Gujarat, people keep with castor oil. In Gujarat, people keep the pulses, etc., for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, like that, with putting castor oil to the grains.
Yes. Not only that, neem can be utilized. Neem leaves.
Neem can be utilized.
Yeah,
Dry the
neem was
powder.
long back. That was they have done it, but I have found some
It
other
is not
plants also.
successful.
Neem, of course,
It is
we know that
successful.
is the best thing, but there are
Yes.
others also.
But you have to develop the neem in making some other components also to make a catalyst and do that. You cannot
Yeah,
leave only
yes,
the
yes.
leaf. So you can
Yes,
make a
yes.
catalyst to that and add and make a proportion and use
yes,
it and
yes.
try it.
Yes.
Padmaja Remella garu, you want to ask something?
Thank you, sir.
ఎందరో మహానుభావులందరికీ నమస్కారాలండి. నేను మాడపాటి హనుమంతరావు గర్ల్స్ హై స్కూల్ హైదరాబాద్లో ఫిజికల్ సైన్స్ టీచర్ వైస్ ప్రిన్సిపల్గా చేసి రిటైర్ అయ్యాను. ప్రస్తుతం కెనడాలో ఉన్నాను. అయితే నా ఒక చిన్న రిక్వెస్ట్ ఏంటంటే, ఇంతమంది ఇన్ని రీసెర్చ్లు అన్ని పెద్దవాళ్ళకి చెప్తున్నారు, కానీ మీరు ఎన్సీఆర్టీకి కానీ ఎస్సీఆర్టీకి కానీ రికమెండ్ చేసి కొన్ని టాపిక్స్ టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్లో చొప్పించడానికి చెయ్యొచ్చు కదా. ఎందుకంటే రీసెర్చ్ అంటే పెద్దవాళ్ళు చేస్తారు, చిన్న పిల్లలకి మనకి ఇంత నాలెడ్జ్ ఉంది, మన వేదిక్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఇంత అని చెప్పేది పిల్లలకి తెలియదు. 10th క్లాస్ పిల్లలకి అలాగా. మా స్కూల్లో భగవద్గీత 50 ఏళ్ళ నుంచి నేర్పిస్తున్నారు పిల్లలకి. 14 చాప్టర్స్ చెప్తారు అందరూ. అయితే నా చిన్న రిక్వెస్ట్ అది, ఈజ్ ఇట్ పాసిబుల్ టు ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ సమ్ టాపిక్స్? ఇప్పుడు మేము చెప్తాం, ఇప్పుడు అదేంటి శకటాసురుడి వధ తర్వాత అవన్నీ చెప్పినప్పుడు దీని గురించి టర్నడో గురించి దాని గురించి చెప్తాం మేము. ఇదంతా మనకు ముందే ఉందమ్మా, అది ఆర్యభట్ట చెప్పాడు, అదేంటి పైథాగరస్ థియరం, ఇవన్నీ మేము చెప్తాం, కానీ అంత అథెంటిక్గా ఉండదు. వాళ్ళకి ఇంట్రెస్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి, ఇటు సైడ్ రావాలి అంటే 10th క్లాస్ వరకు ఉన్న సిలబస్లో కొన్ని టాపిక్స్ చొప్పించడానికి, సార్ వై డోంట్ యూ రికమెండ్ గవర్నమెంట్ టు ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ సమ్ టాపిక్స్ విచ్ ఆర్ ఈజీ టు లెర్న్ అండ్ దే క్రియేట్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఇన్ ద స్టూడెంట్స్ సో దట్ దే కెన్ కమ్ టు ద రీసెర్చ్. దట్ ఈస్ మై స్మాల్ రిక్వెస్ట్. ఈజ్ ఇట్ పాసిబుల్?
Very good question, madam. You have very good suggestion. And I think Prabhakar ji on that line, and he can explain on this what actions are taken by VSS in this direction.
So VSS
Because
already
children
given the
should know.
recommendation. VSS already given the recommendations on these lines to the NCERT and the higher education systems. 2-3 recommendations were already given about the introduction of the various subjects and introduction of the history, or rewriting the history on history line, and as well as an education line, how the education has to be improved and modified. That when they asked for the suggestions, we have given the suggestions. Recently also we have offered our services to NCERT for writing the books, checking the books, editing the books, and giving the suggestions. They have to take our work. We are ready to do it. We have already offered that and given to the government. Our recommendations are given to the government already.
సారీ టు ఇంటర్ప్రిట్ సార్, సారీ టు ఇంటర్ప్రిట్. కానడా థియరీ అనేది కానడా చెప్పాడు, ఇట్ ఈస్ దేర్ ఇన్ అటామిక్స్ గురించి చెప్పాడు, అణు పరమాణు చెప్పాడని ఒక లైన్ ఉంది అంతే 10th క్లాస్ ఫిజిక్స్ లో. నేను అనేది ఏంటంటే, వీళ్ళు మనకు ముందరే ఉంది, కొన్ని టాపిక్స్ మనకు ముందరే ఉన్నది, దాని మీద వీళ్ళు డెవలప్ చేశారు. మేము అప్పటికీ చెప్తుంటాం ఏంటంటే, ప్రింటింగ్ మనకు లేక మనకి ఎదురు రాలేదు, వాళ్ళు ప్రింటింగ్ ఉండింది కాబట్టి వాళ్ళన్ని వాళ్ళ టాపిక్స్ వాళ్ళు బయటికి తెచ్చారు, ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనవే అని కొన్ని చెప్తాం, కానీ మాకు అథెంటేటివ్ గా చెప్పడానికి ఉండదు. ఎగ్జామ్ లో రాదు క్వశ్చన్, కానడా గురించి ఎగ్జామ్ లో క్వశ్చనే రాదు. సో దే డోంట్ నో వాట్ ఈస్ వాట్. సో మా రిక్వెస్ట్ ఏంటంటే, ఇవన్నీ మనకు ముందరే ఉన్నాయి, పిల్లల్లో ఇంట్రెస్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసి వాళ్ళు దే గో త్రూ దిస్ వేదిక్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అని నా ఉద్దేశం. అంతే సార్, నాకు అనిపిస్తోంది, అది మీకు ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ చేశాను.
Right, government కూడా NCERT వాళ్ళు they are rewriting the books now, and what they are rewriting, how far they have done, it has come to be published, and we have to see those things. And what they have done, we don't know. They are doing it, still not published. That they are doing work on this issue. That's what we get the information. So how far they have done, how far they are successful, that is to be seen. Who are involved in that, that is to be seen. We have to wait for some more time and see till the books come. They are already doing that job. They have introduced the Sanskrit in IITs. They are introduced in the educational levels where the things can come. They have introduced put the seeds that has to come to sprout now and come up.
But everybody is there after the English medium. ఒక్కళ్ళు కూడా సంస్కృత్ నేర్పిస్తాం అలా అంటే ఎవరు ఒప్పుకొని కూడా, అందుకే నేను అనేది ఏంటంటే కొన్ని టాపిక్స్ చొప్పిస్తే వాళ్ళకి కొంచెం ఇంట్రెస్ట్ వస్తుంది.
That are being done. I hope we have to check that whether they are doing it not, who has got connections to those people. We have to check those things whether they are doing or not doing. We have to talk to those people who has got connections with them. I request who have got connection in the group also, please constantly get the information to us so that if required we will we'll put our recommendations again to the government.
ధన్యవాదాలండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
గౌతమ్ జీ,
బాగుంది వాళ్ళ టాపిక్, అందుకని.
గౌతమ్ జీ, please.
Sir, namaskar sir. Actually, I was commenting that actually there is I went to this West Bengal Board of Secondary Education, sir. Actually, and there what they did, I suggested that some Vedic mathematics principles should be introduced in the curriculum of mathematics. But what they told that as soon as they heard the name of Vedic, they were very reluctant. I mean, very peculiar kind of mentality. For example, there are beautiful ways of this addition, subtraction. I'm sorry, multiplication, division, recurring decimal, and divisibility. Divisibility with 2, 5, and their powers, and with 3, 9, 11, these are taught. But divisibility with 7, 13, 17, 23, these are very easy and it comes on the same principle. But those are not taught because those are basic formula there for the same thing. So I suggested that, but they are sort of reluctant in that. So some the NCERT books should also include those things. There is a concept called oscillator, and which I will take up in the course of Vedic mathematics, and then you will see that this is how can be done. So about that, I was talking about that.
In the last
yes,
lecture,
sir. Regarding the Vedic mathematics, we have made a lot of efforts to convince the government of AP when the combined state was there, and we could not convince those secretaries and all those government to introduce in the secondary level the Vedic mathematics. So somehow the Britishers' brain is there still with our government secretaries, IAS people. They doesn't understand. They want to, what is that Vedic math? You just apply and put the scores and definitely their brain will work and they will be fast and we could not convince. That has not materialized. That's what I would like to say. So unless the mind changes, it looks different for some more time.
Yeah, last lecture, challenges faced by Sanatana Dharma. This point was discussed and we were concluded that it has to be threefold effort. First effort is from government side, and second effort is like from our associations side. Third effort from the individuals like you all people to represent various channels. These three lines of threefold target is to be done, and then only it can be implemented. So let us do our efforts in future also to do that. Continue to do till it's implemented. Yeah.
I just wanted to forget to tell you that when he told that okay, nowadays people are using calculator, so why to learn this any other methods of Vedic calculations? Then I found a paper where it is said that it is proved that by total analysis that the particular the way of multiplication you use compared to the Vedic method of upward and urdhva tirjagabham, upward and slant. So that method is actually much more efficient in terms of multiplication. And every device, every electronic device, they use a lot of multiplication. So like for example, this to put the image on your screen also needs a multiplication. apart from the doing exact multiplication. So the particular paper proved that if we adopt the Vedic principle of mathematics in the architecture of the electronic circuits, ultimately it will save power, which may amount to say kilowatt or megawatts of power. So that's what the paper said.
Maybe true. People have to realize that. Okay, next Mangalaji. Shall we go? Mangalaji. Oh, we are running out of time. Please. Mangalaji, please. Hari Om.
Chakravarti ji is there.
Chakravarti ji, you got still about one more point, is there?
Yes, sir, kindly.
Please, go ahead. Go ahead, let us finish.
Our great this thing and everything of the Ramayana, Bharata and everything, they rather reflected them or rather shown them as the mythologies, and the other religious this thing, what is there and everything, whether it is true or not, whether they said and they don't have the values. Still, now we are rather highlighting and everything like our system, not we. For example, the thing Shivaji and Rana Pratap are the real historical heroes, actual heroes. Whereas we are still reading Aurangzeb, Shah Jahan and Babar, who are the heinous killers of the Hinduism and everyone. So that kind of this thing, now what Prabhakarji has said, that NCERT is changing the history and the books of that everything. Maybe in a year it's going to happen, they said, because I inquired with some of the officials. They said it's going on, but only thing is the support from all the governments state governments is lacking. That's the reason the delay is there. So the real history we are not reading. That's the reason generations wise, our cultural degradation is happening. So if the real things, real history of our tradition or our history, everything is placed in the textbooks, students can read and at least realize the greatness of this thing. And also small one more thing. In the earlier ancient times, when we said Paspatastra or Pushpaka Vimana, everyone used to laugh. Nowadays, what is there? Paspatastra means it's a nuclear bomb or atomic bomb. That's only. And Brahmastra, we say some kind of missile someone is telling. Same thing they are correlating. What is there? They are renaming or projecting themselves. At the same time, Pushpaka Vimanam, when we say without person it goes, laugh. But unmanned flights going on. What is that? Is it not true? So that kind of greatness is there in our Vedas and our studies and our knowledge. But only thing is somehow the present world, modern world, Western, and all kind of rather against Hinduism. And at the same time, from the independent, the government who ruled for 70 years, killed our this thing, interest, and they are rather created that has to be rather slowly.
Okay. So now what we think is now we are trying to be on positive side now. Now we are putting the things. Now, for example, the mobile system. Mobile system has got the taking the sound from the waves and giving the light and this thing, right? And now quantum entanglement and quantum theories, they're all is nothing but this. And this was there in Doradrashti and other things earlier. We thought of that. If you have to see that, first we have to start reading our scriptures. First start reading our scriptures, understanding what is there in that, then think it. And in that direction only, we have started the Sanatana Dharma course. And the second batch is running now. And I hope we should promote this course, and we want to make it 4-level course so that this will be available for the students to study in summer classes and learn about these things as a parallel work to the government. So what government does, let them do. On our side, we'll start these courses, 3 months courses like this, and make as many people as possible educated in our lines, what is there in our scriptures. So that's what effort we are doing. Whatever little we could do, we will do it. Just like a Samhita in the Yajna.
That's true, sir.
So anything would like to add, please fast Mangalaji and Garg sir.
Mangalaji, yeah. Let it be short and yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
నమస్తే సార్ అందరికి. సార్ నేను అడగదలుచుకునే విషయాలు కొన్ని ఇంతకుముందు స్కూల్ టీచర్ గారు వాళ్ళు అడిగారు. ఇంకా నేను అడగాల్సింది ఏమంటే, నేను గత 20 సంవత్సరాలుగా ప్రభుత్వ ఉపాధ్యాయులుగా, హిందీ ఉపాధ్యాయులుగా పనిచేస్తున్నాను. అయితే ఇక్కడ చెప్పాల్సింది ఏంటంటే, హిందీకి సంబంధించి టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్ లో ఇంతకుముందు మన హిందూ పండుగలైనటువంటి దీపావళి లాంటి పండుగల గురించి ఇచ్చేవాళ్ళు. అప్పుడు ఆ పండగల గురించి చెబుతూ మేము కొంచెం కొంత మనం ఇతిహాసాల గురించి ఎంత కొంత చెప్పగలిగే అవకాశం ఉండేది. ఇప్పుడు మొత్తానికే తీసేస్తున్నారు. ఇప్పుడు ఈద్గా అలాంటి ముస్లిమ్స్ పండుగలన్నింటినీ 10th క్లాస్ లో ఉంది, అట్లా పెట్టడం జరిగింది. ఎక్కడ కూడా అంటే పిల్లలకి టెక్స్ట్ బుక్స్ లో ఉన్న వాటితో పాటు చెప్పినప్పుడే వాళ్ళు అర్థం చేసుకుంటారు. మనం ఎక్స్ట్రా వేరే ఎక్కడో తెచ్చి పెడితే ఇది ఏదో వీళ్ళు చేస్తున్నారు అన్నట్టు. ఇంకా మా చిన్న విలేజ్ అండి నాది, హైదరాబాద్ కి 110 కిలోమీటర్ల దూరంలో ఉంటాను నేను, ఒక విలేజ్ లో. అయితే అక్కడ కంప్లీట్ గా కన్వర్షన్ స్టార్ట్ అయిపోయింది. కంప్లీట్ గా క్రిస్టియానిటీ అనేది బాగా పెరిగిపోయింది. అది ఎందుకు చేస్తున్నారు అంటే డబ్బుల కోసము, దానికోసము. కానీ మన వైపు పిల్లల్ని వెతుక్కోవాలంటే మన మన విలువల గురించి, మన వాటి గురించి చెప్పినప్పుడు పిల్లలు చాలా శ్రద్ధగా వింటారు.
Yes. So this peril is there. That's what the last lecture also had, challenges of the Sanatana Dharma, and people are working and hope things will be better in future. Let us stop keeping our lips closed. Let us start talking, react. That's what Dr. last Navneet has told you. React to what is happening and raise the voice. Then things will be better improved. Next, Vivek ji, please finish it off. Vivek ji and Geeta Lakshmi ji is from Ganjam.
Yeah, some Sai Babu. Sai Babu it seems. Yeah.
Geeta Lakshmi ji, please. 1 second, Vivek ji. Geeta Lakshmi ji, please. She's running a school at Ganjam. I'm happy,
Sai
very happy
Babu.
she has come to
They
the
have
class.
sent a message, Sai Babu from school. Yeah, please, Sai Babu gar.
Now, Geeta Lakshmi, I wanted to ask Geeta Lakshmi ji, what she wants to convey. Geeta Lakshmi ji, please.
Yeah, I've unmuted also.
But she is not at Ganjam, from Ganjam. Geeta Lakshmi from Ganjam.
Yes, yes. Some Sai Babu had given a message in her name. So I asked them to, yeah, now they've unmuted. No, they went, somehow they not to be
Sai
seen.
Babu is her husband.
Yeah, he sent a message. That's why I asked him to raise his hand. Then he stopped asking. Vivek ji, you please.
Namaste Guruji. I want to introduce to one of my friend, Narsima is here, who is doing his job in America. He's also from the Telangana and he has done the research in the BHU. So he can also help us. He's in the group right now. So I just want to introduce you to him. Secondly, I just want to say that previously also I said that I am studying right now about the temple management in the Sanskrit University of Ujjain. That is the Panini Sanskrit University. So if we are doing any kind of the short-term courses, we can sign our MEU to get a recognition of our courses. Means whatever the researches we are doing, we can tell to them and they can also help us because they have a lot of Sanskrit teachers over there. So they can also help us. If you can talk to our Vice Chancellor, he's also from Kerala, the Vijay Kumar NC. His name is famous here. So we can sign a memorandum of understanding with the Madhya Pradesh State University of the Maharishi Panini Sanskrit University. And our MLA means I'm living in the city of Ujjain. So our Shiksha Mantri, our education minister also belongs to this city. So he can also help us in that.
Okay, you want to recognize for our courses. That's what you are talking about.
I'm talking about the courses which we are running. We can sign up an
university, right?
Maharishi Panini Sanskrit University of Ujjain.
Yeah, we'll let us progress on that. We will discuss with Babu, who is the course administrative director, and we'll ask him to process these papers. Please be in touch with Dr. Babu, please. Okay. Please put your session in the group. Please put your session in the group. We'll act on it.
Okay, Guruji.
Yeah. So Narasimha Rao ji, welcome to us.
Yeah, no, yes.
Narasimha Rao ji, welcome to our platform. And I know I'm seeing your name. We'll welcome you to share your views in the group. We'll go together and taking your views also. Whatever best we can do, we'll do it. Okay, Geeta Lakshmi ji, please. Geeta Lakshmi ji, please talk.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Hariom, sir. Yeah, please. Hariom, namaskar. Namaskar, Mata and Sai Babu.
They are doing in our school.
Yeah.
Sir, like
Matlandi, your
I'm
voice is
teaching
not clear.
science and social also. Hello?
Your video is not coming.
Video? Okay.
Video is coming, audio is not coming properly.
Video also not proper. Yes.
He is in a village nearby. Probably.
Sir, hello?
Matlandi, Sayo garu, we are hearing.
Sir, వినపడుతుందా సార్?
వినపడుతోంది.
స్వామి శివానంద స్కూల్లో పైనాను. సైన్స్ సోషల్ ఇవి రెండు నేను పిల్లలకి టీచ్ చేస్తుంటే ప్రస్తుతం ఈ పుస్తకాల్లో ఉన్న విషయం ఉదాహరణకి క్రియేషన్ గురించి యూనివర్స్ ఎలా వచ్చింది అని చెప్పడానికి బిగ్ బ్యాంగ్ థియరీ చెప్తున్నారు అనమాట. అయితే నేను చాలా అసంతృప్తితోటి పిల్లలందరికీ అసలు రాంగ్ ఉంది, మన క్రియేషన్ ఎలా వచ్చిందని భారతీయ దృక్పథం ప్రకారం మనకి భాగవతంలో చాలా స్పష్టంగా ఉంది అని చెప్పి పిల్లలకి అలా భాగవతంలో ఈ క్రియేషన్ ఎలా వచ్చింది అని అది పిల్లలతో వాళ్ళు చెప్తూ ఉంటే వాళ్ళు చాలా దాన్ని ఆనందంగా వాళ్ళు దాన్ని రిసీవ్ చేసుకుంటున్నారు సార్. ఎందుకంటే బిగ్ బ్యాంగ్ థియరీలో చాలా డౌట్స్ నేనే వాళ్ళకి చెప్తుంటే వాళ్ళు కూడా చాలా డౌట్స్ చెప్తూ ఉన్నారు. అంటే అసలు ఆ ఒక మ్యాటర్ అది ఎందుకు పగిలింది, అంత టెంపరేచర్ ఎట్లా వచ్చింది, ఒకవేళ అది ఎక్స్ప్లోడ్ అయితే దాంట్లో నుంచి లివింగ్ ఆర్గానిజం ఎలా వచ్చింది, ఇలాంటి డౌట్స్ కాబట్టి దీనికి మనకి భాగవతంలో చాలా స్పష్టంగా క్రియేషన్ విధానం అంతా కూడా బ్రహ్మదేవుడే స్వయంగా నారదుడికి చెప్తున్నట్టుగా ఉంది. సంతోషించారు. కూడా సైన్స్ లో ముఖ్యంగా అంటే ఇండియన్ దృక్పథం శాస్త్రం ఎలా చెప్తుంది రెండింటిని ప్యారలల్ గా చెప్తుంటే అట్లీస్ట్ నా పరిధి ప్రస్తుతం స్కూల్లో చేస్తున్నాం.
అవును సార్, lot of work is there involved in the teachers now. The correct teachers are required to do these things, and this has to be done. As I told you, this is threefold effort: government side, association side, and individual side. All teachers should work on this now and start impregnating the seeds in the minds of the children. And government should also increase, including the syllabus as Padmaniji told, Dr. Padmaniji told. That should be included in the books. We will try for that also. We will raise our voice and we will give our representations. Recently, the Sanskrit professor, vice chancellor for TTD Sanskrit University, non-Sanskrit fellow has been put as a vice chancellor. We all raised the voice and we all sent to the ministry that he should not be appointed and some Sanskrit professor to be appointed. And government has reacted within 1 week that that orders have been taken back and new vice chancellor with Sanskrit knowledge has been put as a vice chancellor. So things are moving in a positive direction, and only thing is we should not keep quiet. Oh, things are going well, let us keep quiet. No, don't keep quiet. Please react, please raise your voice, please whatever platform is there, please put forward there. If you got in school, put in the child's mind. Like that, go on acting and have the unity. Don't start fighting within yourselves. Unity is very important. And doing our work, reaction is another important. These two things are to be done by individual levels and society levels. This type of courses, and as Mr. Gargji told, we will Gargji only told this university, Panini University. So based on that, we will try for recognitions and see that it is done. First, we have to formulate correct syllabus, correct faculty. All these things are to be properly formulated. The second batch we are running now. We will streamline all our procedures and have a course material. All these things are required for getting recognition. First, we have to establish these things, preparing a course material, preparing a schedules. All these things we are doing. Dr. Babu is very experienced on these lines, and he worked as a dean for a college also. He got the recognition for ICR, NCR, ICR, IACT, those things, etc. That government institutions for recognition, and he is also knowledgeable on getting recognitions. So we will take the help of Dr. Babu and see that the recognition is done from Panini for our courses also. So that we are, I'm positive to that issue. Please put your message in the group so that we will act on that with details of that university and other things. And now let us close.
No, another one Before finishing,
anything
just
you'd like
1
to
minute. Yes, sir. 1 minute, sir. As I rightly pointed out, we have to bring some of the marvels to the children. We did a small experiment last summer under Dr. Avadhan Garu. The children asked to bring our great scientists, modern scientists, Homi Baba, Sir Homi Baba, Sir C.V. Raman, and similarly other all scientists we have to introduce to them. Why? Because if you ask a child, a student, who invented radio, what they say first? They say Marconi. How Marconi has got this to tell the story? It is done by the radio waves work is done by the Acharya Jagadish Chandra Bose from Bengal. He has done a lot of experiments in a small bathroom, and radio waves have been created. And that these fellows, French fellows, nicely called him on their expenses. He has been called to the Paris meet, and he has asked his experiments, and he has revealed. He has not kept in his mind, and he has revealed the story. And after 1 year, Marconi has said that some dispatch methods. He said that he has made the inventory of this one. Like that, many issues are there. Our scientists, we should not forget Acharya Jagadish Chandra Bose, Acharya. So similarly, many of these scientists are to be given their brief achievements, and Motshakanda Visvesvaraya, for instance. Like this, so many scientists were to Meghnad Shah. A lot of people are there. So many scientists were to introduce and bring to the pocket. This is not given in the textbooks. They are not given all these their achievements and our scientists. So this is also to be given, and our children should be educated by introducing these scientists, great scientists of India. That is also important.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So, Saltaji, shall we close?
Yeah. Yes, we will.
Thank you. Is there? Visalashmi is there. She would like to speak. Is she there in the group?
Yeah, she was there. Now she's gone. Beginning she was there. Now she's not there, Mahodaya.
Okay. So
okay.
Because nowadays is coming and where Sanskrit line, I'm not getting who is there.
ఒక్క నిమిషం ఉండండి నేను చెప్తాను. Okay. To conclude today's session on the Bharateeya Vignana, PracheenaVignana Sastras, Dr. KVRS Murthy Garu has really spared his valuable time and given us so much of information where we could also understand there is scope for so much of research, and also how we all also have to join hands and take it forward. I thank him on behalf of Veda Samskriti Samiti and all the participants of the course. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable time, for sparing your valuable time and giving this wonderful lecture to all of us, to enlighten all of us. Thank you very much. Now I request our Amma to just say the prayer. Afterwards, Gautam Mukherjee ji will tell the national anthem. Yeah. Satyavati Amma, please start.
Om Sarve bhavanti supunah, Sarve santu niramayah, Sarve bhadrani pasyantu, Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu, ma vidvishavahai. Om shanti shanti shantihi, satyam vada dharmam chara, sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. Om shanti shanti shantihi. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। सर्वं श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु।
ధన్యవాదాలు సత్యవతి అమ్మ. Now I request Gautam ji to recite the national anthem. I request all of you to stand up for the national anthem.
गण गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा। तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मागे। गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे। जय हिंद। भारत माता की जय।
ధన్యవాదాలు గౌతమ్ జీ. Now I ధన్యవాదాలు KVRS Murthy garu and Prabhakar Mahodaya. Shall we close? ధన్యవాదాలు. Shall we close the session? I'm ending the session for all.